Hello and welcome to 7 Minute Sunday School. This is the third in a video series in which we're supposed to be talking about the 12 major feasts of the Orthodox Church calendar year, but we have yet to talk about any of them in their specifics. Instead, we've been laying the groundwork, first talking about feasting, then talking about how we prepare for the feasts. This time we're going to talk about sacred ritual, specifically through looking at the liturgical cycles of the Orthodox Church. Everything in life is composed of routine patterns of action. In everyday language, these patterns are called habits. Good habits teach us to resist those forces in our lives that block our ability to act with purpose and intention toward positive ends. In Orthodoxy, there is no such thing as a habit that is disconnected from what gives or takes away from life's ultimate meaning, which is found through our life in Christ. In other words, all habits are spiritual. Some of these habits are automatic, like the beating of our hearts or the rumbling of our stomachs when we're hungry. Some of these habits are only maintained through intention, effort, and learning, but end up affecting the automatic habits of our lives in important ways. Another word for habit is ritual. Whether they are divine or demonic, good routines or addictions, everything we do is ritualized. There are many forces around us that use knowledge of our dependence on rituals to shape how we behave and what we believe. When not being used as a tool for something productive, our phones and computers can absorb all our time and energy by pretending they can give us whatever we desire. The 24-hour news cycle is there to keep us caught in the passion of anger. Content online can trap us in the web of lust, pride, envy, or greed. The passions put us in a passive state and make us feel like we can't act with strength and purpose. Like a hamster stuck in a wheel, the cycle of indulgence of the passions siphons our energy away and gives us nothing to show for our investment. Yet that energy is benefiting someone somewhere. Whether it is the demons who, like vampires, suck our life away simply because they hate us, or people who have found ways to make money from our dysfunction, the result is the same. These ministers of the passions cannot give us what we desire. The rituals that we are welcomed to participate in through it lead us to the dispersion of our power to act with purpose and intention. From an Orthodox perspective, the answer to these life-sucking rituals is that they must be replaced with life-giving rituals. If you simply attempt to remove a bad ritual without replacing it with a good ritual, you will go right back to the bad ritual. The Church has categorized these good rituals into 5 different cycles, which make up the entirety of the good things that we are given the opportunity to participate in through our life in Christ in the Church. First, there is the great cycle that is comprised of a person's whole life, from birth to death. This cycle is the frame in which all the other cycles take place for each person. It is made up of those actions and events in our life that only happen once, passing from one non-repeatable state to the next. These actions include our birth and new birth, which is baptism, chrismation, and our burial. They also can include marriage, monastic vows, or holy orders. All these moments hang together and form the outline of the tapestry that God is weaving for each of our lives generally and for the Church as a whole. All other cycles are nested within this larger frame of our entire life, and they include patterns of preparation for and participation in the life God has prepared for us in the Church. There is the daily cycle, in which prayers are offered in monasteries every day from the beginning of the day at sundown, vespers, to sunset the following evening. We can participate in the broader daily rituals of the Church that happen every day at monasteries by saying our morning and evening prayers. A different facet of our life in Christ in the Church is commemorated on each day of the week. Sunday commemorates the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead and is considered the day of the Lord. Monday is dedicated to the holy angels, emphasizing their role in God's creation and their ongoing presence and ministry in the world. Tuesday is dedicated to St. John the Baptist, who prepared the way for Jesus Christ, and to the Old Testament prophets who foretold the coming of the Messiah. Wednesday is dedicated to the cross of Christ and the Theotokos, who played a vital role in the salvation of humanity through her obedience and giving birth to Christ. Thursday is dedicated to the holy apostles who were chosen by Jesus to spread his teachings, and to St. Nicholas, the wonder worker and bishop known for his charity and love for the poor. Friday is dedicated to the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, commemorating his suffering and death on the cross for the redemption of humanity.
Saturday is dedicated to all saints, both known and unknown, who have lived virtuous and holy lives and now enjoy eternal communion with God. It is also a day for remembrance and prayer for the departed faithful. Then there is the 8-week cycle of the Theotokos. Finally, there are the various annual cycles of fixed and movable feasts. These include the feasts during Great Lent, on the journey to Pascha, and the feasts leading up to the day of Pentecost. Included in these are the 9 great feasts, which are always celebrated on the same days each year.
The Divine Liturgy as a ritual is not technically part of any cycle, because it is believed that the Divine Liturgy exists outside of time. It is meant to bring us close to the heavenly places, where there is no past, present, or future. The Eucharist then cannot simply be integrated into the cycles of the liturgical life, but is rather the doorway to every feast, because every feast begins with the eternal food that is Christ's body and blood. Just as the root metaphors of our language connect to hunger and thirst, so the root ritual that connects all the rituals in Orthodox life is the Divine Liturgy. Christ has given us this life of ritual preparation and ritual feasting, all centered around himself, as an antidote to the meaningless actions we waste ourselves upon when we indulge in the passions. When we eat the passions, we get nothing but dissatisfaction. But when God offers us himself to eat at the feast, we are given an insatiable hunger for more, and the promise that there is no end to the beauty that we get to share. The more we participate in the feast, the less attracted we will be to those habits and rituals that offer nothing but bitter disappointment. The 12 great feasts are like panels in the great tapestry God is weaving. Through participating in them each year, we are given annual opportunities to internalize a little more, through the ritual, the rich meaning of our life with God. Having now learned about why we feast, why we prepare for the feast, and how all our lives are shaped by rituals, we are now ready to learn about the high points in the yearly liturgical cycle, the 12 great feasts of the Church calendar.